So in this video, we're going to start working with the image, and we are actually going to make it mobile responsive, this image over here. So let's just quickly inspect this, and let's resize this to a mobile view. And as you can see here, this is responsive. On a mobile view we have here, it's responsive. Everything is responsive. But as for the image, you can see the image is overflowing out from our web page. You can see it's overflowing out, and we want to make sure it is contained inside of our web page. We don't want any overflowing here. Okay, so now to do this, we just need to go to our code editor. First of all, let me just bring this here so you can see it properly. Like I said, don't worry about the Chrome developer tools here. Don't worry about it. So let's go to our code editor. Now we need to come here. This is the image, of course, so we want to be styling this image. So we can actually come here. This is the image container. We can actually put another class here and style it. But if you look at this, we have already styled this right side column. But you can actually do this, but I'm not going to be doing this. It's good to always create another div because we want to be working with this image specifically. We want to work with this particular image, so it's good to create another div. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create another div here. Now you can see it auto completes it for me. So I'm going to cut the closing div, and I'm going to paste it underneath the image. So this is going to be, now let me indent this properly. So we are going to be styling this. This is the div we are going to be working on. So let's give this div a class, this div that is containing the image. Okay, so we are going to simply call it image container. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to call it image container. So let's go over to our style sheet and style this image, of course. Let's go to our mobile styles because this is for the responsiveness. So I'll create some space here. So down here, call the class image container, and then we are going to style it. So first of all, what we want to do here, we are going to give this a position of relative. Because when you don't, because we don't want that image moving around, we don't want it to move anywhere. That's why we're going to give it a position of relative. Okay, and now we're also going to give it a width of 100%. Now I know if we go up here, I know we are giving this column 6 a width of 100%, but actually now we are not giving the column a width of 100%. We are giving the image container a width of 100% because we want to force the image. We are not giving the container a width of 100%. This time we are giving the image a width of 100%. Okay, so for good practice, we are going to give this, as always, we are going to give this a margin of 0 because we don't want the browser adding any margin. We are going to give it a margin of 0. So let's go over to our web page now. Let's refresh this and see how it looks. We'll refresh here. Let's check this. It seems like it didn't work. So there is still a problem. As you can see, it's still overflowing, and I think I know the problem here. Let's go over to our index.html. As you can see, we only got the div to this image container. So this is a div. This is a div that is containing the image. So we actually need to follow the working tree here. So after the image container, we have our img tag. So we need to follow the working tree. So what we need to do here, go over to our style sheet, and then what we need to do is say after our image container, we need to grab our img, which is the image. Now we are simply telling we are being more specific here. This is why you need to be more specific in CSS. Make sure you always follow the working tree. We have grabbed the class, which is the image container, and now we are grabbing the image. So now let's refresh this and see how it looks. Refresh. Now you see this is looking pretty much good. Now you can see this is not overflowing again. This is looking very good. Everything here is mobile responsive. You can see the image now is now contained inside of our web page. This is because we grabbed the image, we grabbed the img tag. So that is how to do that. And also, for a good practice, we need to give this an overflow of hidden, because the browser might maybe at a point overflow some of your elements. So it's just good to give this an overflow of hidden. It's a good practice. Okay, so make sure you do that. So if we refresh this, nothing will change. We just forced it to give it an overflow of hidden, so in case the browser adds any overflow, so it will not have any effect to it. So this is really looking good so far. I think what we need to do here, we need to give this input box a border radius. So it's good to do that. Let's round the corners of our input box. Okay, so we'll do this for our desktop. We're not going to do this for our mobile view, so we are going to do it for desktop. So we'll say border radius is border hyphen radius, and then we're going to simply give it a border radius of 5 pixels. Now let's refresh this and see how it looks. Refresh. Now you can see our input box, they now have rounded corners. You can see how rounded the corners is. You can see how rounded they are. So you see, this is looking good. Everything here is responsive. So we are done with this section. In the next video, we are going to continue on with the next section. So I'll see you guys in the next video.